I'm okay. I'm doing okay. Just trying to get the remote learning down pack, and my job has just been my job. So just trying to take it easy. Because even my own emotions are like up and down, with not being physically at work and now homeschooling. I didn't go to school to become a teacher, and now I've become a teacher in the home outside of what I teach them already. So it's interesting. And make time for self-care. It's hard, but trying to just keep it all together. So I am a mental health counselor, mental health clinician, if you want to call it that. And basically in my past work, I had a caseload of clients that I would provide individual therapy and also do group therapy work with them. And they would range from different mental health concerns such as schizophrenia, bipolar, depression, anxiety. In my current field of work, I am a supervisor for the Department of Health and Mental Hygiene, and I am also a certified registered yoga teacher. So yoga and mindfulness, I should say. So those are my endeavors right now that I actually do.
Mental health is something that's very concerning for me. So what options are available? We're both here in New York. What options are available for New Yorkers that may be struggling? What options are there for them to take advantage of?
So, I have to say, right now during this time, there are a lot of mental health options that are available online. Most offices are doing telehealth, right? Teletherapy. So, how I'm speaking to you, they can go online and speak to a therapist or a counselor, via Skype or via any type of online programming that they have available or that they can download. So that's a really great thing. They can also contact NYC Well, which is a program. It's a hotline that's being run by the city. And it's really great because they have clinicians on that line that do a lot of great work with speaking to people that call in to address a lot of their issues. The number actually is 1-888-NYC Well, WELL. And so they can call and speak to a clinician. There's also a website called Black Girl Therapy that people can go to and access providers and see what works for them. And another one that I've recommended is also Psychology Today, where you can go and find a therapist. So those are some sites that are pretty helpful that people can look into, especially also with the anxiety. A lot of times people say, oh, it's nothing, that headache. But, headaches lingering for long periods of time, not feeling well, just not feeling like yourself. It's really good for people to kind of acknowledge what they're feeling and do like those check-ins. Like, hey, I woke up today and I still have the same headache that I had a week ago or 2 weeks ago. And if you're not usually one who has health issues, then it's something to pay attention to. So for me, I think the isolation of being in a home for a lot of people, along with just the nervousness of what's happening, right? I know on social media, people tend to post a lot of the negative. So this person passed away, this person died, or this family died. And I understand, it's just spreading information and the news of what's happening. But when you see that in abundance over and over again, and all you do is read of all the fatalities that are occurring because of this pandemic, it can make reality be very scary for a lot of people. And so that's when you have a lot of self-harm, a lot of addictive behavior starting to happen, and people don't necessarily know how to come out of that, especially when you're self-quarantining or you're just social distancing, and you don't really have a lot of outlets to kind of let things off. So those are some of the concerns that I have for a lot of communities.
Okay, what tips, aside from reaching out to your insurance providers and tapping into those resources that you suggested, what can people be doing? Some suggestions on a day-to-day basis to care for themselves and to check in and to kind of balance or to alleviate maybe some of these concerns that you were just talking about.
Try to incorporate something for yourself. It's hard as a parent because you're trying to make sure that they're good. If you have a partner or a spouse, you're trying to make sure that they're okay, your friends or family. So you can feel like there's a lot on your back. So I would say carve out time in your day for yourself. And that could range from whatever works for you. It could be 5 minutes, it could be 10 minutes, it could be an hour. If you're lucky, I'm like, man, I wish I could do that too. But, if it's even 15 minutes, carve out some time for yourself. Do something that you love, going for a walk. So be paying attention to your neighborhood and your area, determining what's the most appropriate time for you to go out, dress appropriately, right, for the weather, but also the conditions that we know are happening. So getting some fresh air, going for a quick walk in the neighborhood and coming back home, I think is a great part of self-care. Journaling, so writing down how you're feeling, you know, finding the words and placing it down, to me is very therapeutic and very comforting. Looking into maybe drawing, finding paper and a pen. You don't need markers or paint, right? Just drawings, doodling, any little thing that you can express yourself with. But just movement of the body can alleviate a lot of the tension in the body, right? That can be connected to anxiety, can help blood flow. So it releases a lot of things that are on the brain, even some type of headaches. So I would recommend yoga, and then mindfulness, taking deep breaths. You know, I tell my boys also, take a breath in through the nose and breathe it out. And, you know, I find that people forget to just take a moment and breathe, right?
Yes.
Everything gets so caught up in the body and the mind that you can feel very much stifled. And so most often taking that breath in and getting that moment of clarity can help you sort out some things that you're experiencing. If you have nail polish, right? Paint your nails, paint your toes, because you're not going to the nail salons right now. At least you shouldn't
Right.
be, right? Social distancing.
So
So,
so.
stay in your house or take a beautiful bath if you have, or a relaxing shower. And I even say sometimes put on those clothes that you can't wear to work anymore, right?
Right.
So
Right.
put on that blouse or put on that suit and then put it back, right? Or wash it, whatever works for you. Cook your favorite meal if you can. Eat that donut if you want to, but in moderation, right?
In moderation. Let them know. I don't want people
Right.
immersion
Right.
looking like Shrek. I'm against that. We need to be healthy. Yes, yes, indeed.
Or just some tips that I think could help people. But understand that there's always a process for things, but things will get better. And always positive self-talk. Before I would leave my house, I look in the mirror and be like, Jess, you got this day, and I keep it moving. So for me, positive self-talk and reflection, I just think that could be really helpful right now for people.
Thank you so much.
You're
Continue to
welcome, Shuga.
help.